Okay, so I just had to notice that I have a lot of like family that really helps in the music part of the singing and all the things that I'm singing, the things that I sing about, and that they're like whenever they go out, when my family goes out, or if my family notice if they if they notice something that might turn into a problem, if they see something that is going to turn into a problem, the the thing that I noticed that they care when I noticed that they cared was when the time that that they talk, because my family members, they like to talk, and they when they usually talk amongst themselves, and they don't really like talk around anyone else. My music was a way for them to be able to talk and for me to figure out with what they're saying, which helps me understand, where I can fix a problem or where I can focus to have myself fix another problem like that, right? So when they bring up the problem, because right now at the apartment that I live at, there's not homeless. There's not supposed to be homeless. And there's nobody homeless at that apartment. So for there to be a fucking big fucking hole the size of the fucking door at the back gate, at the back, very, very back, the way that they brought it up was like, oh, there's another thing that's been going on in the neighborhood. They always bring up the neighborhood, like the neighborhood that they brought. The way that they brought it up was very helpful because I was like, well, okay, well, you're not just coming up to me and telling me that you're from a neighborhood and all this other, just a bunch of dumps, like a bunch of stuff that just doesn't make sense. So they were giving me like clues and hints. They were just telling me things, and I was like, well, you're telling me all of this, and I'm trying to figure it out, right? So the way that they told me was there's a huge, and then they eventually brought it up. They were like, there's a big hole in the back that all these homeless dudes that are just standing here all the time. They're always doing the same shit in the back and the other side of the gate where the park is at. Okay. It's one thing that they live in that area. They live across the street from the park, and the other ones live a couple of streets up from where the park is at. But the point is that all these homeless dudes that they just stand on the sides and they do all this shit. They're just standing around. And, but there's a hole now. And the problem with that hole is that they think that they could probably go in now. And they think that they can try to do all these other stuff that's not gonna help. I don't suggest that they start thinking that they can start manipulating and trying all these other tricks to become an even bigger drug addict, or they want to be drug addicts and they want to do all these magic hands and signals, and maybe we could understand what's going on with our with the rest of us, because how nobody listens to us, all this shit like that. Yeah, that's going to turn into a problem, because not only are they not supposed to be there, but now there's a hole there, and now they're gonna try to say that they can try to walk through that hole so they can start shit with everybody in the apartment that shouldn't be putting up with them. to begin with. So the reason why they would call me magic and all this other stuff is because I normally don't have to I don't have to do all the I don't have to know all of this shit to know how to fix the problem. If I fix the problem without starting a fucking problem, then like that's the part where they usually end up like leaving. You have to leave. You can't just keep breaking into the apartment. You see, because they don't understand. They don't get it. They think there's a way around everything that they want to just stand around, and then they want to break in. So when they told me about the hole in the back, I was like, well, it wasn't really a problem until now that I have to move in. Okay, now that I have to move in, that fucking hole is right next to my door. It's like it's very close to my door. So I'm like, okay, well, I can either blow up the whole fucking country and have all of these fucking wetbacks, you know, they can learn their lesson like that. They don't like listening, then maybe fucking killing all of them so that they can fucking learn. They don't, these fucking wetbacks don't learn because they're not smart enough to not break in. Then fucking killing them won't be no big deal. No big deal, right? You like to break in and be a fucking homeless ass person. And you can't fucking be living in there. You should, like, nobody goes into your fucking place and, does all that shit and then threatens to fucking kill you because they want to be drug addicts. No.